Welcome back, as promised, the second part of the matchday preview for the weekend, for looking ahead now to Sunday's matches. I wanted to break it up into two so I could wait until after the Barcelona game on Thursday evening to see how they fared against Newcastle United. We'll talk about them a little bit more when we come to that, but that's the last game on the Sunday evening before we start next week's midweek round of fixtures. The first game of the day on Sunday is Rayo Vallecano against Celta Vigo. Rayo lost last week at 2-0 at Osasuna, outplayed Osasuna in every department, but got caught napping on both goals. The first one, poor defensive play. 5 against 2 in the penalty box, and Osasuna somehow managed to score. When they were pushing to get the equaliser, they got caught on the break for the second one. Looked a comfortable win for Osasuna, but Rayo, I think Inigo Perez will be looking to make sure that his team tighten up defensively. All the other aspects of the game were pretty good. So I think I give home advantage to Rayo, bearing in mind that Celta Vigo play Stuttgart midweek in the Europa League. And Celta Vigo have played 5 games, got 4 points. Both teams go into this game on 4 points. But Celta have this complication of playing in the Europa League. It's not a usual thing for Celta to be playing European football. Played 5, they've drawn 4 of them, so they're hard to beat. They haven't got any wins yet. They managed to scramble a draw last week against Girona thanks to a 94th minute penalty from Borja Iglesias. They're not playing at their best. Do I expect them to get anything from this game? My prediction is that Rayo win this one 2-1. And I think that Rayo will improve defensively. They're involved in European football, not until the following week. They're in the European Conference League. So this is two of the teams that performed really well last year. I expect it to be a good game. I'm expecting Rayo Vallecano to just win this by the 2-1. Then we're going to Mallorca against Atletico Madrid, which is straight after this game on Sunday, so early Sunday afternoon. Mallorca just 1 point. So you could call it a crisis, but they have played Barcelona, they have played Real Madrid. Bear in mind they've only played 4 games. They played Barcelona, they've played Real Madrid, and they lost to Espanyol on Monday night. So that's the top 3. Espanyol are not normally there, I know. And Espanyol were fantastic on Monday evening, although Mallorca 2-0 down, got back to 2-2. But eventually lost out by the odd goal 3-2 right at the end of the match. So it's a tough one for Mallorca. Tough run of fixtures. Jojoba, Arrasate, under a little bit of pressure. The club itself are making huge strides in recent years, on and off the pitch. And I think there is pressure on the Mallorca manager to make that progression. They'll have patience, of course they will. They'll look at the fixtures that they've had so far, and they've been difficult. But I think this one isn't any easier, is it, Atletico Madrid? And we've seen good signs from Atletico Madrid. I mean, they got the win against Villarreal last week. They were unfortunate against Liverpool to get back into it at 2-2 with those usual 2 goals from Marcos Llorente at Anfield. After being 2-0 down after 6 minutes, it looked like it was going to be a heavy thrashing for Atletico Madrid. But they fought back well, and there's a lot of positives to take from it. They got them done eventually with Virgil van Dijk, got away from Robin Lenormand to score the winner deep into stoppage time. So that was a blow for morale for Atletico Madrid, but Simeone will look to be positive about the performance, if not the result, and rely and look back on the win against Villarreal. So I've seen signs for improvement from Atletico Madrid. They have to win this game. With the points they've dropped already, they can't afford any slip-ups. They can't allow Real Madrid and Barcelona to get further away from them at this stage of the season. They have to win this game. It's tough for Simeone. Midweek, missing Alex Baena, Julian Alvarez, Johnny Cardoso, Jose Jimenez, Thiago Almada. They're not coming back for this weekend either. So the deep squad that Simeone has got, there was 3 or 4 young players on the bench against Liverpool, he's going to have to rely on a similar group of players to try and get the win at Mallorca. I think they'll do it. I think I'm going to go for a comfortable victory. I like what I've seen from Atletico in the last couple of games. I haven't been too impressed with Mallorca, I have to be honest. I've given them the excuse, the out of playing against strong opposition in the first games of the season. But I haven't seen too much to get excited about. So I'm going to go for a hefty 3-0 win for Atletico Madrid in this one. Despite the fact they have those injured players missing, and particularly Julian Alvarez is key. But I still think they've got enough to win this comfortably against a team who are struggling for confidence. Then we're going to Elche against Oviedo. Big match-up between 2 of the newly promoted teams. Elche are making quicker progress than Oviedo, I have to be honest. 1 win, 3 draws for Elche. Good front pairing in Andre Silva and Rafa Mir, and it's looking promising for them. I like the way they play. Eddie Sarabia's got them working really well. Paunovic has brought in for the manager of Oviedo. They brought in loads of players. I have to be honest, I'm really surprised that Eric Bailly hasn't played a single minute yet. And I'm looking at the players that are still involved from last year, the promotion team. Vinas is suspended. He got sent off in the game against Getafe where they lost 2-0. They're hard to break down, but they don't look too threatening in attack. So I think progress has been quicker from Elche. Their work was done earlier than Oviedo and Paunovic. They were bringing players in as the season started. They'd already started. They're figuring things out. They are one of my favourites, I have to say, at the moment for relegation. They've got the 3 points. That was a win against Real Sociedad. They've lost the other games, and they play Barcelona on Thursday evening, so it might not get any easier. So I'm going to go for an Elche win, a 2-0 victory, a home victory for this one. And it's when I'm looking at relegation teams, I'm looking around, I'm thinking, can it be them? Can it be them? I'm looking at Oviedo, I'm thinking, Oviedo, it might be you. So it's tough early in the season. Found their way up through the playoffs. Not a lot of time to prepare, but they've got Paunovic has to figure things out quickly. So I expect Eric Bailly to get a game, get a start in this match. He's relying on the players that centre-back pairing that got them promotion. But I think it's time for you to sign Eric Bailly. You've got to start playing him. So then we finish off on Sunday evening with Barcelona against Getafe. Back at the Cruyff Stadium. I know there's plans now for the next few games to be back at Montjuic, so the Camp Nou is not opening up anytime soon. Barcelona, 30 minutes in the game against Newcastle the other night, it was even Stevens. They were probably the game that Hansi Flick expected. You know, Newcastle, passionate crowd, playing a Premier League style of football, closing down high up the pitch, which slightly surprised me, I have to be honest. So credit to Eddie Howe that he did cause Barcelona problems in the opening minutes of the game. But slowly but surely Barcelona found the way to put their foot on the ball. Pedri and De Jong running things in midfield. Up against the big physical players of Newcastle in midfield, the likes of Joe Linton and Bruno Guimaraes. And it was fascinating to watch that battle in midfield. And it was ended up being a really good performance from Barcelona. An outstanding performance from Marcus Rashford. He was getting criticism in the first 30 minutes. You probably could have criticised Barcelona in the first 30 minutes, not just Marcus Rashford. They weren't making much headway. He was one of a group of players that wasn't able to get into the game. You have to remember the agenda. There is an agenda. Tune in here. I will give you the straight facts, the truth. I haven't got an agenda. I'm not following a narrative, a lazy narrative that the media and the press, in particular, the written press, are searching for Marcus Rashford, for Trent Alexander-Arnold. There's a narrative there, there's an agenda there. I'm no interest in that. I will tell you exactly how they're doing. Marcus Rashford has done all right. Has he been the best English player in La Liga so far this season? No, that title goes to Tyrese Dolan of Espanyol. But Rashford has been good. He's been okay. He's settling in nicely. He looks a popular teammate. You saw that with the goal he made against in the game against Valencia last week. They all rushed to congratulate him when Rafinha scored. You can see the delight of the players when he gets the 2 sensational goals against Newcastle. So it's coming along nicely, and last night he exploded with the 2 fantastic goals. But he hasn't been brilliant, he hasn't been useless, he's just settling in. So, as I say, follow me and I'll tell you the truth about Marcus Rashford, and I'll tell you the truth when Trent Alexander-Arnold is playing again, because it's been similar to him as well. A polite start for Trent Alexander-Arnold. Now he's picked up the injury. Carvajal suspended as well. Some issues there for Real Madrid to sort out defensively. But I think Barcelona are looking in good shape. And in this game, they've won 7 straight home games against Getafe. They struggle away from home against Getafe, but at home it's normally comfortable. So they're playing in the training ground stadium again. I expect a 3-0 win for Barcelona. Getafe, will they play with 2 up front? They played 5 at the back last week in the win against Oviedo. If they're playing 5 at the back against Oviedo, it was a 3-5. It wasn't a flat back 5 like Valencia against Barcelona last week. Jose Bordalas, if he's going to play a flat back 5, which I expect him to do in this game, will he afford the likes of Liso and Mayoral to keep the 2 up front? We'll wait and see. But whatever he tries, whatever he does, I don't see anything other than a comfortable 3-0 victory for Barcelona. So don't forget to subscribe. This is the second part of the weekend preview. And of course, straight Monday, back on Monday from Madrid. I'm out there working at the weekend, commentating on the Real Madrid Espanyol game on Saturday afternoon, commentating on the Barcelona v Getafe game Sunday night, come back Monday, back to London, do the weekend preview, do the podcast. Back out, I think at the moment, I'm going back out on Wednesday to Madrid to start to do a run of Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday games. So, something to look forward to. Hope you've enjoyed my little guide to La Liga this weekend, and catch you soon.